Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one. And the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline. And if there's anything that isn't quite working for you or anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. Today's video is about discerning the second link of dependent origination. In Pali, we call this sankhara, paccaya, vinnanam. So what do those words mean? Well, sankhara is the action or the karma that we do which produces a certain result. Paccaya means cause or condition. And vinnanam means consciousness or the consciousness that was produced by this sankhara. So sankhara, paccaya, vinnanam. Now when we speak about this link of dependent origination, by sankhara we especially mean the abhisankhara, or the action that we did in a past life that produced the next life. I've made a separate video about discerning that abhisankhara, so if you haven't done so already, I suggest that you watch that video and if possible, do the practice so that this link of dependent origination will be really clear to you. Now let's say that we are already familiar with discerning the abhisankhara from the first past life. How do we then discern the link of that sankhara producing consciousness in this life? Well, in order to understand that, we first need to understand that the consciousness has two main types. First of all, there's the consciousness that lies outside of any mental process. We call this process-freed consciousness. And we then have types of consciousness that fall within a mental process. So we're going to be discussing both of these, but first of all, let's discuss the process-freed. Process-freed consciousness has three types. It includes the rebirth linking consciousness, which is the first conscious moment of this life. Bhavanga consciousness, which is a resting consciousness that arises in gaps between mental processes throughout the life. And the death moment of this life, which is the very last moment of the life. Now, all three of these types of consciousness, the rebirth linking, bhavanga, and death consciousness, are all directly produced by the abhisankhara. So how do we discern this? Well, first of all, we will discern the abhisankhara and that mental process. We will then discern the rebirth linking moment of this life, and we will check to see if we can find a productive relationship between those two. Can we see that this abhisankhara is producing that rebirth linking consciousness? We'll then do the same thing for the bhavanga consciousness and the death consciousness. Now when that's clear, there's another check that we need to do, and we need to check that the abhisankhara also has the same object and the same number of mental factors as these three types of consciousness: the rebirth linking consciousness, the bhavanga consciousness, and the death consciousness. Now, what about the consciousness that lies within the mental processes? Well, first of all, it's important to understand what types of consciousness this is. And specifically, it's the type of consciousness that lies within a 5-door mental process, which means the mental processes that arise when we're experiencing something through the body. So in this life, when we see something, hear something, smell, taste, feel something with the body, some of the moments in those mental processes are produced by past karma. And the moments that are produced by past karma are especially the sense consciousness moment, the receiving moment, and the investigating moment. So we can start in this life by discerning one of those 5-door mental processes, let's say when we see an object. And we can discern those moments that are produced by the past karma, the sense consciousness moment, the receiving moment, the investigating moment. And then we want to see if we can find the past karma, the sankhara, that produced those moments. Now in some cases, it will be produced by the abhisankhara, the same karma that produced the life, that produced the rebirth linking consciousness. In some cases, it will be produced by another action that we've done in the first past life or a more distant past life. So when we see an object, hear an object, smell, taste, feel an object now, Sometimes that's the result of the Abhi Sankhara, sometimes it's the result of a different action that we've done in the past. So starting with the consciousness now, we then want to see if we can find the karma that produced it. So we want to do that with all of the different types of five-door mental process. Seeing an object now, hearing an object now, smelling an object now, tasting an object now, and feeling with our body. So that's what I have to say for discerning. Sankhara, paccaya, vinnanam is a very, very interesting stage of practice. So now is the time to get off of those screens, get onto the cushions and see if you can actually discern some of these causal links for yourself. It's fascinating. There's so much to this world of meditation, so it's really important that we don't waste time. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis, so I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website so that I can continue to make these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.